All right, we're live there. Let's go live on Instagram. I'm sure you guys are on all these social media.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Make sure we're recording here. That looks good. All right, Jenny, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. Hello, all you amazing listeners of the Grow Clinton podcast. Welcome back to the show, episode 106, recorded on the 28th day of April 2025. It's a beautiful day, but I think we're gonna get some bad weather, Jenny.
Everybody keeps talking about it. I better get here. I'm going to, come on.
The latest I read that was sent out by the county was that there's like a 10% chance of tornado activity.
Always hail.
I love to be a weather guesser, right?
I am one. I could do
Just
a good
weather
job of
guesser.
that.
I love watching them on, TV on the news. And they're like, well, there's a 20% chance.
Yeah.
There's a 50% chance. I'm like, I could do that. If
And
it's 50% chance, I'll just say that every time.
Always. And they always say there's a chance of baseball size hail. Always.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't
told
like
you
that chance.
The story of my car. I never owned a car. I've always had trucks. Right?
Yes.
So one year I decided I'm going to buy this car because it had good gas mileage, and I had a truck, but it was an old beater truck. And I was like, I had the truck for picking up lumber, going back and forth. So I bought this car, and I bought it from McElhaney's. And the first week I had it, I was driving in the Quick Star parking lot on the north end in Lyons, and a young lady backed right into me and smashed the driver's side door.
Nice.
So okay, $500 deductible that on a car I had for a week.
Yes.
I get it back. The next week, I'm parked outside here. I'm working for the Clinton Regional Development Corporation, and we have a massive hailstorm. And it put pockmarks all over that car.
See,
so as soon as I got that fixed, I sold it.
The universe saw that and said, Andy in a car? And it said no.
Yeah, didn't like it.
We got to have a truck.
But you know what I do love, Jenny?
What?
I love me some high-speed fiber internet. That's right, folks. The Grow Clinton podcast is powered by Miles Communications. Check them out, milestelephone.com. Milestelephone.com for all your high-speed internet needs. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they're on their way. Also offering telephone and television services, milestelephone.com. Excited about today's guest, Jenny?
I am super excited about today's guest because I know these people and they're so nice.
They are very nice. Do you want to introduce our guests? And then we'll start talking about some amazing stuff that's happening here in Clinton, part of the WATANYE Club.
That's right. A very nice club. Anne and Sheila are here, and they're going to tell us a little bit about the history and the services they provide, and then also the different events that they have.
Now, I can't remember the first time I was introduced to your club, but it was early on in my tenure here in Clinton. I was asked to come and speak. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was probably like 2016, maybe. I was with the Clinton Regional Development Corporation, and I asked if I would just stop by and share some of the things that were happening from an economic standpoint here in Clinton. And I cruised on over to a corner deli, and I walked in and I gave my spiel, and there were no questions, so I must have did a phenomenal job. But I was very impressed by how energetic and philanthropic and focused you young ladies were on the community here in Clinton, Iowa. So as Jenny alluded to, and Sheila, whichever wants to take it first, tell us a little bit about the WATANYE Club.
Well, we're a service organization, and that's what our name means, service foremost. It comes from a Native American language. We're not real sure which one, but it started in Mason City. I got to use my notes. I'm sorry.
Do it.
In April of 1921, it was started by a lady named Mary Barrow in Mason City. She noticed that the businessmen were meeting for lunches, and she thought the businesswomen should too. And that's how the first group started. And in May of 1925, the Association of WATANYE was formed. And the group in Clinton was formed on May 24th in 1924. and chartered on June 3rd, 1924. So last year we had our 100th anniversary.
That is impressive.
That really is.
Yeah.
And you know, the name, I've always wondered what the, and I never seem to be able to get an answer, but I didn't ask the right people.
Well, you kind of have
Well,
an insider track on that. You
I
couldn't just ask your
know.
mom.
I could have.
Yeah, you
Yes.
could.
My mom is a proud member.
Yes, she is. Yes. Well, we have quite a few members. We have 54 members, and some are honorary, but we are very active. We're a very active group.
Now, how often does now am I saying this correctly? WATANYE?
WATANYE.
Watanye. It's
Okay.
pronounced
How
both
often
ways.
does the club meet?
We meet once a month for a dinner meeting, and it's usually at a church in town or could be at a restaurant. Sometimes we meet at the village co-op, and
We're outgrowing most places.
right.
We'll have
That's a good problem to have.
upwards of 40 people at our membership meetings.
One thing I remember about this, I have a good memory about the Watani is that, not a good memory, but anyway, my mom had been invited to go to a friendship. We'll talk about that friendship brunch. And she went and she came back and she said, I just went to the friendship brunch for Watani. And she said, that's such a nice club. And I said, are you going to join? And she said, they asked me to, I will. And just the best people who are the nicest people. There's so many. The thing I remember was my dad got sick. My dad passed away. But one time we were up in the hospital. My dad was in the hospital, and my mom and I walked in, and a group of women who were in, how do you say it? Watani?
Watani.
WATANYEans.
Okay,
Watanians.
Watanians. Were also volunteering at the hospital that day or doing something at the hospital. And my mom walked in, and just women converged on my mom and just started to hug her and tell her, we're there to help you. And I will always remember that. I thought, well, she doesn't need me. No, I'm joking. But yeah, that it was just such a nice memory. And I know that your group does that for all of your members, and you take good care of the whole community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. We do a lot of us are volunteer at the hospital, and some volunteer at the art association, River City Arts. We're
We do
around town a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are a very caring,
Very.
almost like family. Somebody gets sick, you're right there. And
It seemed like that. That's what the vibe I got from that. I was really happy about that from my mom.
Now, how does one become a member?
well, you're invited. We do have a friendship brunch, and our friendship brunch is coming up in May. And we send out invitations to ladies that we know. And they come and hear a little bit about our group and have a very good brunch. We're very good cooks.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have
And bakers. I've had.
I know that.
bakers,
Yeah.
yeah. We're
We're the
known as
cookie ladies.
the cookie ladies. Yeah, but we have that brunch, and then if they're interested, we have forms right there they can fill out and join that day. And
Well, I would like to officially invite any that are out there that are interested in coming. Even if you don't get a written invitation,
oh yeah,
you can still come to our event, which is
on May 17th,
May
17th at the Village Co-op,
at 9:00.
9 to 11.
And we make some good egg casserole.
Yeah.
I know one thing that you do for birthdays. Explain what you do for birthdays. The
Community birthday?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this was started, a lady went to one of our district meetings, one of our members, and she heard that they make up birthday kits. And it consists of a disposable pan, 9x13 pan, a cake mix, a can of lemon lime soda, canned frosting, birthday napkins, birthday plates, birthday candles, all put together in this pan. And we drop them off at information referral. And then anyone whose child is having a birthday can go in and pick up one of the kits. And then they're able to have a nice birthday cake.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, well, it's really grown. We started out with 3 kits. And last year, let me see what, well, this year so far, we've made up 28 kits. And last year, I believe it was 96 kits.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
And there is such a need now for
Oh,
that
there
sort of
is.
thing.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of
Yeah.
people wouldn't think of. Who wants to go without a birthday cake?
Yeah.
well,
know?
that's just it. And if you don't want to make up a kit, you can bring a cake mix to the meeting or a can of frosting, whatever you want to do, and then our members put them together.
I wait until I see it on sale somewhere.
And then you
Smart,
stockpile.
smart.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Do you guys also do, I believe I read, scholarships for Clinton Community College?
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, we have one scholarship that is given out through the Paul B. Scherer Foundation at Clinton Community College. And that was endowed many years ago. So there's one person that receives that. And then we also, from our fundraising projects, we give out 2 scholarships just on our own besides the Paul B. Scherer one. And that goes to a family member of a member. So
Okay.
it can be a child, grandchild, and we have now started to include great grandchildren because we have an aging population in our club.
Yeah.
So we give out 2 of those every year.
It's a $300 scholarship.
Oh, very nice.
And-
So it might buy a book.
Yeah. It's not real big, but it helps.
Hey,
Yeah.
everything helps.
We just interviewed Dr. Brian Kelly,
Oh, yeah.
who is the president of Clinton Community College. And I know he's very appreciative of all the scholarships that are generated throughout the community to support community college students. And I was saying during that interview that I just read an article that said this is the first year where enrollment in community colleges has surpassed enrollment in your typical Regent 4-year university schools, which is impressive. But I think people are actually realizing that a community college route, especially if you don't know what you want to do,
Exactly.
is cost effective
Oh,
and a smart
absolutely.
move.
And when you think about the textbook, when I was in my 40s, I went back to college to get my degree. And to save time, I took a couple of, I didn't want to go back and forth to Iowa City every day. So I'd take some courses at the community college, and I had to take a logic course there. And, that's not something you can do without a textbook. And the girl next to me, I noticed she couldn't afford the textbook. So she was just trying to get whatever she needed from the lecture and then try to get through the test, doing that. So those textbooks,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
expensive. And so that goes a long way.
This could be an unsolicited advertisement for Clinton Community College.
Yes.
With that,
I'm a product of there.
Yeah.
I went to school there when my husband was laid off work for a long time. And so they hired me when I got my 1-year secretarial degree. And I worked there for 26 years
Good for you.
and retired from there and sent my kids there.
and I suppose you probably saw a lot of need there for
Oh,
scholarship.
sure.
You know?
Well, and I was secretary for the foundation for
Okay.
many years
Yeah.
and then ended up being the continuing education coordinator. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good
Wow.
place to go to school, good place to work. And
Speaking of the Paul B. Scherer Foundation, I just read an article this morning that Secretary of Agriculture Mike Naig has presented the Clinton Community College, specifically the Paul B. Scherer Foundation, with a $214,000 contribution
Ooh,
for their water quality project over at the Arboretum. 'Cause they're putting
Nice.
in permeable
Wonderful.
paving, and they're trying to reduce any impact that the center will have on Rock Creek. So it's very cool. I mean,
Fantastic.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. So I did send a little email out to Ann Eisenman because one day Ann will retire. And
Yes.
when she does, I'm going to try to bottle up her energy before
Oh,
she's
my goodness.
basking in the sun by
Yeah.
a pool somewhere. Because
San Diego.
I
Yeah.
think this might be her last hurrah.
Oh,
That's the rumor on the streets.
well,
I
it's a
don't
good
know.
hurrah.
But I'm really looking forward to that project,
Yeah.
selfishly because I live across the
It's in
street
your
from the Arboretum. So
Oh,
I want it. Yeah. We spend every morning over there.
lots of activity
Yeah.
over there now.
Me and
with
my
their-
dogs.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
tell me why they call you the cookie ladies.
Well, we do bake a lot of cookies.
Yes.
The Pam Prey run has asked us in the past to provide cookies for their runners at
They
the
kind
end.
of start out the year.
Yes,
That's
right.
like our first cookie project.
Yes, and so yeah, we sign up and we bring in dozens of cookies, all homemade,
Nice.
and they take it to the run so that they can have a cookie at the end of their run. And for Watani Week, which is coming up in May, we also bake cookies for that, and then those are distributed to different businesses and school districts in the area. We rotate who gets it, and I'm not sure who gets it this year, if it's Clinton or Camanche or
I'm not
Fulton.
sure.
I thought it was Grow Clinton, isn't
Yeah,
that?
that's
Oh,
what
is
I
it?
have on my calendar.
Yeah, Jenny, I thought we'll
Yeah.
we'll have to figure this out.
We might have to bring a sample.
Yeah.
I sent you guys a calendar invite.
We always love samples. I tell you what, if you're trying to drop pounds, this is not the office
No.
to be in.
Oh, no.
We are constantly receiving goodies, and we interview people that own bakeries, and
Yes.
it's like, and they bring samples. And actually, Hy-Vee the other morning is introducing a new breakfast menu, and they brought us a lot
They
of
did.
food to test
So
before they release it
good.
to the public. So yeah,
But you guys, you can add your name to the list. I mean, if you want us to test anything for you,
We can do
we
that.
can do that for
Well,
you.
I think we're going to have cookies for our ribbon cutting.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Good.
that's happening during.
and where are we doing that? We're going to do it over
At
at
the
the
Village
village.
Club.
Good.
Mhm.
At the Village
Yeah.
Co-op, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
One thing we were talking about was for service organizations, you know, a lot of times that they're slipping. I mean, in a lot of ways, you know, as far as being active in them and participation and numbers and all of that. But yours doesn't seem to be going that way. You have some,
Well, just
New members?
recently, probably the past couple of years, we've gained at least 9 new members, which
right.
was unprecedented.
Yeah, that's great.
And I've been a member since 2016. And if we would get 1 or 2 members new a year, that was something. But you know, over the past, it's probably a couple of years ago.
Right.
Mhm. It was, yeah.
Now, where does a prospective member, if they're interested in joining your organization, go to get more information? Is there an email? Is there a telephone number they can call?
They can certainly call any one of us. I'll give you my phone number.
Let's
and-
do this. How about if
Yeah.
you give them my phone number here, and I can do so you're not giving
Yeah.
out your personal number.
Sure.
Well,
You may get a lot of calls soliciting
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You know, we don't want that. So if you're interested in joining the WATANYE Club,
Yeah.
visit growclinton.com, get a hold of Jenny, call us at 242-5702, or visit our office at 721 South 2nd Street, right underneath the South Bridge, and we'd be happy to place you in contact with a member of the WATANYEs and hook you up with a membership opportunity.
Right.
So much fun.
Well, getting back to the cookies.
Yes.
We are going to have a cookie walk in June. Yes.
And that's something new this
What
year.
is
Yeah.
a cookie walk?
Oh, well, it's always been in December, right before Christmas.
And we're still going to do that.
Oh, yeah. We bake all kinds of cookies and breads and candy, and we have it at the Village Co-op. And anyone in the community can come in and buy cookies or whatever they want to buy if they don't want to bake for Christmas.
Oh,
And
very
then,
nice.
Yeah, and then this year we decided to do it again in June,
Yeah.
like Christmas in June,
Okay.
where you can come in and buy
Do the
cookies.
same. You buy
It'll
them
be
by
the
the
same
pound.
thing. Yeah,
How much are they? Like
$6 a pound.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Pound of cookies.
Wow.
Pound of cookies.
And the best cookies are the ones your mother makes.
Oh my gosh,
Those
she makes.
I was gonna
decorated-
say,
Oh,
She could go to work at a bakery
I know.
decorating cookies.
Well,
they
she's
are
so
beautiful
talented anyway,
works
her
of
That-
art.
her
that
artwork.
kind
is-
of skipped me, but
Yeah.
She wanna work again? Maybe we can hire Dolores.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she'd run circles around everyone.
Yeah.
She, yeah, and that's why I was going to say I can attest that I've had all of the cookies. You know, she brings them home too, and they're. If you do not want to bake for Christmas, but you want all the credit, just go and get some of these cookies, bring them home, say, "Yeah, I did it," and they, you know, they're perfect.
It's such a large variety too.
Mhm.
You know, it's not all just one kind. And
Now I know why Dan Sullivan married your sister.
Yeah,
The cookie connection.
the cookie connection.
He looks like a guy that likes some cookies.
Yeah, so does Steve, and they, yeah, yes. And I don't know if you've ever been to my mom's house, but it's very homey. And the first time my Steve went in there, he looked around and goes, "This is really homey and nice." I'm like, "Forget it."
You're not going to get that from me.
That's right.
And your mother's house is so clean.
and it's so cute outside too.
I know.
We all love Dolores.
We
and
do.
everybody knows where your mom's house is
I
at.
know
so-
they do.
and I
No,
always
it's
look
true.
because remember I saw somebody mowing the lawn not this year, but last year.
Yeah.
I remember I came back and I was like, "Who's that mowing your mom's lawn?"
I know it. And somebody else asked me that. Somebody was fixing one of their steps. I think they think she's on the loose, single and on the loose. But no,
you go.
not having any of that. But
Oh, very funny.
yeah. So, I mean, and one of the things that I'm really happy about, and I'll say about my mom, is that she's got such great friends in this club. And it really is a supportive club of all the members. And I'm really happy that she's got that in her life.
That's great.
Well, some of the other things that we do, we serve ice cream cones at the nursing homes once a
Wow.
month. We rotate those and serve ice cream cones. We judge the Mardi Gras parade.
Oh yeah.
We participate in the 4th of July parade, the Camanche parade. We have special sales and fundraising. We sell RATA products. And
What is that?
Yeah.
It's-
What's that?
oh, stainless steel knives
Oh,
and all
okay.
kinds of kitchen utensils.
Yeah,
And
like
even-
the Cutco.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I dated a girl in high school that was slinging Cutco
Yeah.
to raise money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flinging it.
Yeah, she was. she got my mom quick because
Yeah.
my mom. We go to my mom's house to this day. She has all these knives. That she
That's
ordered
pretty
from her,
nice
yeah.
stuff, though.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
That's
it's
good stuff.
quality.
Yeah.
And they
Ooh.
sell food items too,
Oh yeah.
like
oh, yeah.
those little packets of soup and stuff.
Yeah,
They
very
just-
cool.
And crackers,
Yeah.
bread.
You
didn't know you
ladies
guys
do it
did
all.
that.
I tell you
Yeah.
what.
Oh, we're just getting started.
All these cookies and ice cream should be sponsored
Right.
by an
Yeah.
insulin provider.
yeah. Yeah.
What else you have?
Okay, well, we give out money to the local libraries.
Oh yeah,
We
I
have-
read that.
Yeah, we have a library fundraising. Almost every meeting we have something, but 2 times a year we have a special library project fund, and we have ladies in our club that do quilting and sewing and craft type items, and they bring them in, and we buy a ticket for a chance at winning one of these project or items, and then that money goes to our library fund, and we give $100 to a library in Clinton, Camanche, Fulton, and they can use it for anything they need to have. It's just $100, but
It's not
it's
just
the price.
$100.
Oh, it
though.
goes a long way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
well, most of them buy it for supplies, maybe for their summer reading program, or buy new books
Wonderful.
in a series of some kind.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then service projects, we do things around the community, like we talked about the birthday cake kits. In November, we gather non-perishable food items for Giving Tuesday, it's called. It's the first Tuesday, no, it'll be the last Tuesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And we bring that to our meeting, and then they're taken to information and referral.
Well, I know
to-
Regan appreciates it. I sit on the board for
Oh, do
information
you?
referral,
Okay.
and when Regan gives us our monthly updates of how many she has served, that number is not going down.
No,
It is
it's large.
expanding
Yeah.
exponentially.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think how many people depend on that service. And working with the Riverbend Food Bank, we're not getting as much as we used to.
oh,
So it's very part of some federal budget cuts impacted the food bank, the large one,
Right.
Riverbend for us. And as a result, that trickle down effect means less food. So
Well, you should be really proud of that with your association with them, because I'm writing an article about them right now, and the need is up 137%. And you look at what you're doing to help.
yeah.
it's very
Well,
important.
in the fall or July, before school starts, we collect school supplies and personal hygiene items for the students. And it's amazing how many supplies we get.
Oh boy,
It's really, I mean, our club really does well,
you really do.
I think.
It's a hard-working club.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we are. It's surprising. I joined after I retired, and a friend of mine said, "Why don't you come and join?" And I was surprised. I was president the last 2 years, and I couldn't believe how involved we were. I mean, it's a big job to be president of this group. And Ann was secretary, and I couldn't have done it without Ann. She helped me so much. So it is
Well, and your mom's
surprising.
been on the board twice now
Right.
Yeah,
as a
she's-
director.
Like,
she's-
people like to be involved in something that does something. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
cause. They
Yeah.
don't want to just go and go home. And
we
you
have
know,
structure. And,
Right.
We've got leadership, we've got our board, and they meet once a month.
Mhm.
And we have the membership meeting that followed the next week after the board meeting. And then, That's where we talk about different projects, ideas for fundraising.
Things that are coming up.
We have agendas. I mean,
We
like
have a
we're a
budget.
real
Yeah.
organization.
You're legit.
Yeah, it is legit. I love
We have
it.
a budget.
And we keep minutes, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
even have a historian.
Oh,
Well, that's
yes.
good though. That's what you need. I mean, how old? 100 years? You need that.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Well, something fun that we do too, we have secret sisters. And we can draw for a secret sister, and then you give her a little something along the way. Christmas, especially, birthday, or cards, or
I've been in on that shopping
Have you?
before. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
With my mom, I got to get some for my secret sister.
yeah,
Well, and we keep it limited to $10.
yeah, it's
you
not
know.
very
It's-
much.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I like
Yeah.
that.
No,
And in March, we reveal our secret sister and pick a new one. It's
very cool.
it's fun to do. Yeah,
Well, ladies, we're coming up on the time to close this
Oh.
show out. It goes by
my.
fast,
we
doesn't
could
it?
just talk and talk and talk.
I want to thank
Right.
you on behalf of the entire community of Clinton for all that you do. One of the things that really impressed me about this community when I relocated here in 2013, I was born and raised just outside of Philadelphia,
Oh.
so I wasn't familiar with Clinton, wasn't familiar with the state of Iowa either.
Yeah.
When I moved here, one of the things that I found to be so impressive and welcoming was the amount of service organizations that we have, all with a common focus to make this community a better place to live and support those that are less fortunate. I'm a firm believer that as human beings, it is almost mandatory for us to care for our neighbors as a whole, as a community. And the WATANYE Club is a perfect example of how that should be done. So thank you for your support of Grow Clinton, and thank you for everything you do here
Thanks
in our
for having
community.
us.
Yeah, we were happy
Absolutely.
to join this year.
Yeah.
It was something new for us. and
Yeah.
It's
And I
great.
have to say, when I went to the meeting to talk to you all about that, I couldn't have felt more welcome. There were snacks sitting out. Everybody was so
That's
nice.
the real reason she stopped by.
I asked. I said, Mom, do you guys have chocolate there?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I'll be there.
Dessert is mandatory.
If there's anything you ever need from us here at Grow Clinton, never hesitate to ask. One of the cool things too is this building is your building. So if you ever need a space to meet or gather, we
great.
have a large conference room up front that is yours to use at no cost whenever you would like.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
we try to support our members in any way that we can, whether you're a small civic organization or you're a large, company like Lyondell or Nestle Purina. We try to find something that you can recognize as a return on your investment for membership.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
thank you.
Yeah, we're glad.
Jenny, what do you have going on the rest of the week?
I got a lot of meetings to go to, but that's what I love. I say it every time. I love going out and seeing our members and talking, see what everybody's up to. But I want to give a special shout out right now.
Who?
Ukuleles
Ukuleles.
or the Ukes of Hazard.
Ukes of Hazard. That is the ukulele
Yeah.
group that meets.
That's Ann and my mom, founding members.
I think that's so awesome. My mom, if she was living here,
Yes.
she would be all about it.
Oh, she
would
would.
be your perfect candidate for membership because my mother's been retired for a few years now, and my stepdad is also retired. So they spend a lot of time together, and I think each is always looking for an outlet, to kind of. And she meets with her work friends or former work friends and stuff, and they have dinners and things like that and lunches. But my mom loves giving back. She really does, and
Yeah.
she's always trying to identify new ways to do so. And your club would be perfect for her. So if there's
Yes.
a WATANYE club in Pennsylvania that you're aware of,
She
specifically
could start one.
the Reading area,
Ooh, she could start
She could
one.
Start one, yeah.
And she could start a ukulele group.
That's right.
I don't see that happening. But the WATANYEs, I'll tell her all
Okay.
about it.
Oh, yeah.
She's always asking. She's like, because she listens to every episode of this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
every radio show we do. She sits down and she listens like a good mother.
That's so
and she tells
nice.
me what I did well and then what I should have improved on. And then, no, she doesn't say that. But she's always inspired by what this Clinton community
Mm-hmm.
is doing. And I believe this podcast has really, I don't want to say changed the way she looked at the community, but it
Mm-hmm.
has allowed her to develop a stronger understanding of why I hold the community of Clinton so near and dear to my heart
Right.
and choose to live here and raise my family.
Mm-hmm.
So through this podcast, it's an outlet. It's a reassurance for her that her son's somewhere safe and surrounded by good people.
Good.
Well, if she comes to visit, invite her to one of our meetings.
I will.
She'll make a whole bunch of new friends.
She
and
loves
yeah.
coming in here. I
Oh,
bring her every
wow.
time she visits. We come into the office and She's always expressing how proud she is of me. My mom's the perfect mom, a poster child for what a mom should be.
Oh, yes.
Because she is insanely supportive, and she's been that way for my entire life. Every swim meet, making cookies and cupcakes and sleepovers and birthday parties, and she would go all out. And I owe her a lot of gratitude.
Do you hear that, Mom?
Well, we would
It's
welcome
true.
another cookie baker.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, she does. She does well. Although the best thing she ever made me from one of my birthdays was a German chocolate cake.
Oh,
And I asked for the stinking German chocolate cake every year. And she's always like, she can't mail it to me and
Yeah.
it won't look as well. But she hit a home run on that one time.
Yep.
And I always bring it up now. So
Aw, that's sweet. She would be a
good cake.
perfect member.
she would.
would.
I know
Wouldn't
she would
she?
love it. She would absolutely love it.
Jeez.
have her move here for
Yeah, what's the holdup?
Yeah, what's
With
the
that?
what's the holdup?
Come
Well, my
on.
sister. My sister's like in the Pittsburgh area, so about 2.5 hours west of where they live, and I'm out here in Clinton. But we are getting together this August. We're meeting
Oh.
halfway in Ohio, and we're
Nice.
renting a house on a lake.
Cool.
So this is the first time I'm going to see my sister and her family. She's got 2 beautiful boys in probably 4 years.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So
Mm.
Oh, you'll have
Yeah.
fun.
yeah, I'll have a blast.
They can all move here.
All right, but enough about me. Thank you, Watanye. Thank you, Ann and Sheila. Thank you for everything that you do. Jenny, I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your week. And
You too.
everybody listening, stay awesome. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya. Or still, let me end this stream here.